what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say that Jerry Jones was sitting up there criticizing Dak Prescott. I said critiquing. What I mean by that is this. Why are you spending time critiquing him the way your team looks right now, excuse me, without him? He's rehabilitating, trying to get onto the field of play. You didn't reach a long-term accord with him. He's still going to be looking for that. And here you are talking about what your concerns are in order for him to stay healthy and perform. It's another excuse to justify whatever you tried to deny him. Now, we could talk about the $100+ million you offered. We don't know definitively how much you offered him in guaranteed dollars. We heard about the years. We heard about, the guarantees, but we don't know. We don't know. There's a lot of speculation out there about what's true and what's not true as to what Jerry Jones offered Dak Prescott and why Dak Prescott said hell no. And we understand that Dak Prescott was saying, I think I'm better than Carson Wentz. I think I'm better than Jared Goff. We ain't sneezing at that now. We're looking at that now. And we're also looking at leadership and how you galvanize the troops and how people rally around him and people want him and they speak about the value of Dak Prescott. And that is the antithesis of what's going on in Philadelphia, evidenced by Carson Wentz ultimately being benched. All I'm saying is that if you're Jerry Jones, who has seemed to have found every excuse under the sun to procrastinate in terms of getting this Dak Prescott long-term issue solved and handled and inked, this is the latest salvo in that regard. That's my point, and that is why I have a concern about it.
I understand, but I don't even think it was really a critique. He started by saying, look at me. Jerry Jones said, look at me. I have handicapped Dak Prescott. I didn't want him running because he's the one so good at it. I understand, but you can't last in the NFL. Then he refers to the quarterback in Seattle who's great, who's the best he's ever seen at avoiding punishment. And he ends by saying Dak is going to have to learn how to do that because he's so effective picking up yards with his feet. He's going to have to learn how to do that or else I won't have to pay him.
Can I stop you by asking a question?
Again. Yes.
When Jerry Jones is at the negotiating table, do you think he's at the negotiating table saying, I did this to you. It's my fault. Here's the money? Does he use whatever question marks he has against you to minimize what he has to give you?
Well, first of all, he's saying don't run. Dak got hurt on a running play. He tried to give Dak the Wentz-Goff deal. Dak turned it down because they believe the new structure of the salary in the NFL going forward would mean that an early opt-out would mean even more money for Dak, right? Probably a mistake by his agent in retrospect. So Dak turned down the $100 million plus contract he was offered and then got hurt on a running play. Jerry is pointing to that and saying, I didn't want him to run so much, but I get it. He's great at it. I don't think you can sustain that in the NFL unless you're as good at avoiding punishment as Russell Wilson is. So Dak's going to have to get to be like that, or I'm never going to have to pay him because he's going to stay hurt. I don't think what he's... Now, look, does Jerry want to negotiate against Dak? Naturally. He's trying to pay him as little as possible, and he foolishly was penny wise and pound foolish, keeping him at that $2 million level for too long instead of signing him up long term a couple of years ago when he could have saved a bunch of money and not have to give him the $100+ million. But the fact is, Stephen A., he offered him the contract. Dak turned it down. He got hurt on a running play. Period. That's what happened. That's what happened. I'm not making it up.
Tony Romo was relatively injury prone. He wasn't a runner, but he scrambled some time. He had some issues health wise. We all know this. Jerry Jones just paid the man and loved him and treated him like an adopted son. You have been on the record, because you know I have. Dak Prescott's never been treated that way by Jerry Jones. Ever. It's an accident? It's a coincidence? I'm just making it up? Or do you see what the hell I see?
Look, Dak has represented the Cowboys not only so professionally and like you want the face of your franchise, but he went along with Jerry Jones even about in the most controversial moments of the NFL's recent history about kneeling.
That's right.
No doubt about it. Dak was trying to be the best soldier he could.
Has
Not
he
only
ever
a
received the
general
love
on the
Tony
field and
Romo
a face
received?
of the franchise, but a soldier for Jerry. Do I think that Jerry could have a better personal relationship with Dak? Maybe if you compare it to Tony Romo. Tony Romo's an especially charismatic guy, as we can see on TV now, right? So, like, I'm not using Romo constantly to down Jerry about Dak. But if you think, do I think, would I love to have Dak as my quarterback if I was the owner of a team? Sure.
2 quick questions. Has Jerry Jones ever treated Dak Prescott like he treated Tony Romo? Yes or no?
No.
No.
If he had that kind of relationship with Dak Prescott that he had with Tony Romo, would Dak Prescott have a long-term deal by now? Yes or no?
Probably.
Molly?
No.
He wouldn't have a long-term deal by now if he had the same relationship with Dak Prescott with Jerry Jones that Tony Romo did?
Yeah, I didn't hear the whole question.
But
that's
absolutely.
That's
He's
what I'm
not
saying.
treated the same at all whatsoever.
That's what this comes down to. When you love somebody, you find excuses and allowances, and a level of latitude given to them far exceeds that of other people. I am saying Jerry Jones's relationship with Dak Prescott is not the same as it was with Tony Romo. If it was, we wouldn't be hearing this kind of stuff from Jerry Jones about Dak Prescott. That is what I am saying.
Yeah.
Sure, Dak may not wind up as a $17 million a year TV analyst either. Like, they're two different people.
He ain't trying to be an analyst. He's trying to win playoff games.
Let's find your voice. I'm Alicia, and this is my masterclass.
He's handicapped to some degree, Dak, because of the fact that he's so effective and has been in his career in the running game, and his ability to take it down and get the big play and get the yards. I've always known that he couldn't do that like that for long in the NFL. You can't do that. You look at, though, some quarterbacks that do live with it and have done good. The quarterback in Seattle is the best I've ever seen at sustaining success with his mobility. But he sure is good at it. And he sure has gotten, if you notice him, boy, he just does not get hit with a lot of impact. And so Dak can do that. Dak will do that. And he can evolve to where he just will take less and less hits. He has to, or we won't have him to play.
All right, that was Jerry Jones talking about Dak Prescott. He has to run less. He has to evolve. And, you know, that boy over there in Seattle, I don't know.